A Type 2 study is an MSA study where you normally take 5 to 10 products and you have 2 or 3 appraisers who measure these parts 2 or 3 times. In the past, the name Gage R&R was used, but the name has changed to indicate that measurement systems variation is not only caused by the gauge, but by the complete measurement system. The study can be used to establish the repeatability and reproducibility of the measurement system. You can start a Type 2 study by selecting a variable gauge in the gauge catalog, and right-click on the gauge and select New GR&R Type 2. Another way to start the study is to go to the Type 2 catalog and click the button New GR&R Type 2. In the next step, you select the gauge for the study. A third method is to right-click on an existing study to start a new one. When you start a new study, the general screen appears with information about the gauge selected, and you can enter relevant information about the study. In this video, we will show only the long study. You can select the calculation method ANOVA or average and range. The results of a Type 2 study are heavily impacted by the total variation. In the AIAG MSA reference manual, it is defined that the total variation should be calculated based on the products in the study, where the products should be representative for the real process variation. That is not always easy, so therefore in the Datalyzer gauge management software, you can use the real process variation taken from the SPC system. But you can also use the tolerance as total variation to get more insight into the relation between measurement variation, process variation, and customer requirements. You can enter a part in characteristic, or if the system is integrated with the Datalyzer SPC system, you can pick from the existing SPC configuration. When you click on the tab Study Data, the screen to enter measurement data and results appears. First, you need to enter the number of appraisers, the number of trials, the number of parts, and you can enter the names of the appraisers. The data entry spreadsheet will be automatically adjusted according to your selection. Then the study is performed and the results are entered. This can be done cell by cell, or you can copy and paste from Excel. When all results are entered, the results can be shown. Typically, you start with the graphical analysis. The range chart indicates if the measurements were in control. The error chart in the example clearly shows that appraiser 1 has an overall positive bias. Appraiser 2 has the most variability but no apparent bias, and appraiser 3 has an overall negative bias. Other graphs offered can provide more insight. The result page offers you the summary, and in the screen you see the GR&R is too high, and therefore the study fails. Because criteria are different per industry, or even per reference used, Datalyzer offers an option to select your own criteria for acceptance or failure. You can also use the ANOVA method. The ANOVA method has the advantage that it can estimate variation more accurately, and that it can extract more information such as interaction between parts and appraisers, so it is often required by customers. But the disadvantage is that it is more difficult to interpret the results. Therefore, we allow you to switch at any time between the average and range method and the ANOVA method.